Symbolic of our national heritage and deeply rooted in the American spirit, the bald eagle inspires a sense of pride impossible to replicate. It represents qualities Americans admire most: courage, strength, and grace, sitting proudly at the pinnacle of the food chain, commanding its airspace with precision and fearlessness. In a post-9/11 world, never has the bald eagle better defined the American experience. In 1782, when the Second Continental Congress nominated the eagle to be our national symbol, there were as many as 50,000 of the majestic birds in the nation. By the 1960s, there were fewer than 450 nesting pairs. But now, as America once again relies on its symbol for inspiration, the eagle population also relies on us as it too struggles with adversity. On Florida's Treasure Coast, bald eagles have graced the area for centuries. In Port St Lucie, naturalists have followed the progress of the nesting pair known as St Lucie I since the 70s. Experts say bald eagles are important not only for their symbolism and beauty, but also as a barometer of the health of the environment.
There are many other species that depend on the same kind of habitat that eagles use. So if an eagle is not doing well, then we also know that other wetland-dependent animals are not doing well.
Tesoro is a virtual nature preserve with osprey and sandhill cranes thriving among residents and golfers. And when Bobby Ginn first envisioned the community, he gave the protected eagles the respect they deserve.
The regulation says that you draw a circle around the ring so many feet wide, and that's what you're supposed to stay out of during the nesting season. Birds don't fly in circles. You know, they don't feed in circles. They feed up and down the waterways and along the edges. And so we really took time to go out and start studying what the bird really was going to do.
It was a marriage between developer and nature, perfect, until one day when a pair of great horned owls moved in.
Joe Carroll said the eagles have moved. I can't find them, and there's 2 horned owls in their nest.
It took us a month of looking to really determine where the eagles had moved.
The last week in January, Joe says, I found the eagles. They have relocated, and they're right next to your clubhouse.
I think everybody's jaw was dropping at that time.
Right from the beginning, there were a lot of conversations back and forth, but there was never a talk about displacing the eagle. There was never a talk about doing anything but trying to conserve the eagle.
It all boiled down to the fact that once you see them out in the field or see them on the nest or see them feeding, I mean, they were here a long time before we got here. And we didn't have a right to run them out. We had obviously an obligation to protect them.
We really then started looking at what we could do as a company to do more than just what was required.
That commitment turning into an immediate 1,500-foot buffer around the Tesoro Eagle's new home and a multi-million-dollar redesign of the property.
From our point of view, when you can get the 1,500-feet buffer and no development and the other issues that were involved in this case, I mean, that's a positive, that's the best case scenario for an eagle nest that's been relocated.
Bobby Ginn recognized that along with costs, there are also benefits. We now have a community that not only has a extremely attractive design from the standpoint of its amenities for the residents, but we have the added benefit of this wonderful green area surrounding a beautiful lake with a tremendous amount of natural habitat.
They did this on their own, and they took the initiative to protect their eagles at a great financial loss to them.
The collaboration between Ginn Clubs and Resorts and the Audubon Society soon turned from relationship to partnership, in effort to preserve the habitat for generations of eagles and residents, and to combine technology and nature to offer a rare look into the day-to-day lives of the bald eagle.
The key thing that really is the centerpiece that is so unique that has hardly ever been done is really placing 2 cameras in a tree right next door to where the eagle's nest is going to be.
Installed just 25 feet away from the nest, the cameras will offer some high-resolution insight into the lives of Tesoro's bald eagle family.
Working with the Audubon Society, you'll be able to go online and literally live in the eagle's nest during the nesting period, which brings a whole nother awareness to what goes on and why these birds are so important and why we did what we did, and hopefully other people will follow suit.
Families with young children can wake up in the morning and have their breakfast cereal and turn on the internet and see what's happening with the eagle family that morning, whether it's mom and dad sitting on the eggs, or the eggs hatching, or feeding the young, or watching the young learning to fly and fledge on the edge of the nest. So it's really quite an opportunity to bring really young eagles to the living rooms of people all across America.
And to set a new standard for the relationship between development and nature.